if you look at her from the left. When she turns, you can see the puckered skin and the crooked white line across her cheek into her chin where a gorilla took a bite out. The scar just touches the corner of her mouth, so when she smiles, the skin stretches and it looks like something's still holding on to her. She studied biology and zoology in college. After graduation, she got hired by one of her professors as a research assistant and headed into the African jungle. She was thinking she had the touch, and it made her do things she shouldn't, like get too close to a newborn gorilla and have the mother come charging out of the bushes and bury her teeth in Sandy's face until the team they were traveling with shot her down. Sandy woke up in a hospital to doctors clicking their tongues as they sewed her skin back together over the bone. We went out on a date once. I took her to dinner and a movie, and we got a drink afterward. She told me her old boyfriend used to make her keep her head turned when they made love so he wouldn't have to look at it. Hearing all this made me uneasy, the way people can tell you secrets about themselves too soon and make you feel responsible. I took her home after that and left as soon as I could. Mike takes care of the sea lions, George and Martha. He has a master's degree in poetry and has worked here, scrubbing the tank, for 7 years. Each day at noon he performs a show, throwing fish from a pail to George and Martha as they bob on the surface of the water. Afterward, if the boss isn't around, he tries to sell copies of his chapbook to the crowd. One evening after we split a bottle of schnapps, our pants rolled up and our feet in the sea lion pool, Mike told me about how he went diving at night off the coast of Mexico with a few of his buddies. He said jumping into the ocean after dark is like stepping down into a graveyard, falling through the earth, bumping into coffins and bodies, and feeling all of the lost bits and pieces of souls that have seeped into the soil come looking for you. He said he'd never do it again. The men brought underwater lights to look at things. They attached glow sticks to their tanks, each a different color, green, yellow, purple. They held onto their masks and regulators and fell in backward. The group went down about 80 feet and let the current take them. Bugs swarmed their flashlights, and Mike could feel little insects wiggling against him as they got caught in his wetsuit. He saw giant lobsters, jellyfish, skates, sharks, and other strange things he didn't know the names for, creatures that only come out at night. Mike swept the light below. Just beyond the beam was an enormous scaly movement that didn't seem to end, part of a manta wing or the curve of a tail. The animal churned steadily beneath him, and there were things hanging, spines or leeches, bits of detritus in its wake. Mike willed himself not to panic. He turned off his light, as if caught spying on his neighbors, and paused in the stillness of the water. Then he swam as fast as he could. He stopped at 30 feet for safety to keep from getting the bends. He clicked on the flashlight and looked behind him. There was a tiny eel, a school of fish. Mike watched the green glow of a light stick slowly moving toward him and felt a gathering of relief. Together, he and his friend treaded water, back and forth, while they waited for their buddy to join them. They could see the purple color of him in the distance. When he didn't come any closer, they got nervous and went after him. He wasn't there. It was only his tank settled on the ocean floor, the glow stick swaying like a weather vane in the direction of a bad wind. They went back to the boat, but he wasn't there either, and by then they were out of reserve. They radioed for help. Mike used his snorkel and his flashlight to keep looking, but he stayed close to the boat. They never found the body. Mike threw the empty schnapps bottle into the pool. We were both quiet for a while. I had my fingers wrapped around the railing, and I thought about all the little kids who would be pressing their faces against the glass tomorrow. We had some more quiet between us, and then he waded in to fish it out. You hear animal stories every day. How a bee stung little Johnny and he went into cardiac arrest. How a snake bit Cousin Tom and it shriveled up his toe. How a pack of dogs chased Aunt Shirley down the street until she climbed through an open car window, rolled it shut behind her, and watched the animals circling, pawing the doors, their wet noses leaving.